This is my video for week number 1 assignment. I'm gonna go over the 3 quizzes we had to submit. Choose to start with quiz on reasons for choosing a particular scale type. So the first situation will be a nominal level of measurement because the independent variable is political parties and there's no superior or inferior political party, so there's no level within the categories or any sort of order present. The second one will be also nominal level of measurement because there's no again superiority or ranking present. Yes, each different type of worker is assigned a number, but that number is just for meanings of identification, not for meanings of ranking. So it will be a nominal level of measurement. There's no superior job, like the cooks are not superior than the boss boys or the cashier is inferior. They just want to identify them. The third one will be a ratio or interval level of measurement, depending on how you want to look at it. If you argue that because of online school, there could be kids that are on online classes, so they don't spend any time getting to school, so there's an absence of time, there's a true zero of time, then it will be a ratio level of measurement. You can also argue that some kids live by the school in their cars, so it will be again like an absence of time getting to the school because they live right by next it, so it has a zero, so it will be rational. Nonetheless, you could also argue that there's never really an absence of time, that even if the kid spends seconds or a minute opening up the computer, or the other students while they get off their car and walk towards the door, there's always some time present. So then there will be no absolute zero and it will be an interval level of measurement. For number 4, it is an interval level of measurement because the scores of any test or questionnaire regarding personality aspects as extroversion, they have ranking, so an arithmetical order, and they also have equal intervals between the variable units, but they don't have a true zero. They don't have an absolute zero. You cannot not have a score. You have to have a score every time you take it. And the fifth one, the temperature, is always an interval level of measurement because there's never absence of temperature. When one has 0 degrees in Fahrenheit or Celsius or Kelvins, it doesn't mean that there's no temperature. It just means that the temperature is at that level of the scale, which is usually really cold, but there's still temperature present, so there's no absolute zero. There is still though equal interval between the variable units and ranking. That's why it will be interval, but it doesn't make the cut for ratio. Moving on to quiz on types of scales. So the first one will be an ordinal measurement because there's ranking or magnitude present, but there's no equal spacing between the variable units and will of course no true zero. For number 2, it will be a nominal measurement because again they're just asking to identify your blood type. There's no ranking or order, no blood type is superior to the other, no one is less or more, so it's nominal. For number 3, the height of buildings is also it's an interval measurement because there is ranking or magnitude present, there is equal spacing between units, but there's no true zero because you cannot have an absence of height in a building because then there will be no building. You cannot have a building that has 0 feet tall, that is 0 feet tall or 0 centimeters tall. You need to have something because if not, it's not a building. Number 4, it will be ratio measurement because there is ranking or magnitude in hours in time, there is equal spacing between units, and there is a true zero. You can sleep 0 hours. So there were no hours spent on sleeping. So it will be a ratio measurement. Number 5 will be an interval measurement, because once again, with personality quizzes or questionnaires, there will not be an absence of a score. Maybe you can score low, but you will never score 0. Nonetheless, there is ranking and equal spacing between units. So it will be interval, but not ratio. Number 6, it will be an ordinal measurement, because there is ranking or magnitude present, but there's no equal spacing or no true 0. Like, you could say there is a true 0, but there's no equal spacing in the variable units. So it will be ordinal measurement. Number 7, it's nominal measurement, because they're just asking to identify which one you drink more, but that doesn't mean that either of the options is superior to the other options. So there's no ranking or order, they're just categories. Number 8 will be interval, because I explained before, there is an order, like an ranking. There is also equal spacing between the variable units, but temperature has no true 0, because having a true 0 means absence of something, of the variable, and you can never not have temperature. It may be cold, or in the scale marking 0, but there will always be temperature. Number 9, it's again interval, because as explained before, on these types of personality questionnaires or quizzes, you can never have like 0 score. You need to score something. A score is always given to you, even if it's small. But we can say there is order, equal spacing, but will not choose 0. For number 10, it is a ratio measurement, because when it comes to time, kids can say they spend 0 time doing something, in this case, working. There is magnitude, there is equal spacing, and there may be students that didn't work, so they spend 0 time working. So there's this absence of time working, so it allows it to be a ratio measurement. Now we'll go on to research questions to transform in hypotheses. I will only read the hypothesis made. The rest you can see in the document, because for time reasons it will not let me upload a YouTube video that is longer than 15 minutes. So for number 1, the likelihood of participation and current or past participation of male college students in sports differs from the one of female college students. Number 2, that would be a non-directional hypothesis. Number 2, students who study in the morning have higher grades than those who study in the afternoon or evening. That's a directional hypothesis. Number 3, the grades of the students that have a part-time job differ from the grades of the students that do not have a part-time job. Non-directional hypothesis. Number 4, students that live further away from campus miss more classes than those who live closer to campus. Again, directional hypothesis. Number 5, the percentage of Jehovah's Witnesses in Florida differ from the percentages of Jehovah's Witnesses in Georgia. Non-directional hypothesis. Number 6, students who study in cafes have higher grades than those who study at home. Directional hypothesis. Number 7, the average annual income in Miami is higher than the average annual income in Tallahassee. A directional hypothesis. Number 8 is the average between average incomes of males and females greater in Miami than in Savannah. Sorry. Number 8. The average between average incomes of females and males in Miami differs from the one in Savannah. Again, non-directional hypothesis. Number 9. The aboriginal population of Oklahoma is greater than the aboriginal population in New Mexico. That's directional. Number 10. People who participate in sports are happier than those who don't. That's directional. Number 11. Second-year students have more computer skills than first-year students. Again, directional. Number 12. Students who spend more time studying get higher grades. Once again, directional. Number 13, shoe stores that open at noon and close at 9 p.m. sell more shoes than stores that open at 9 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. Once again, directional hypothesis. Number 14, the grades of students whose first language is not English in an English language course do not differ from the grades in an English language college course of students whose first language is English. Non-directional hypothesis. And number 15, people that live in homes where they are allowed to eat only in the kitchen or dining room eat fewer times per day than those who are allowed to eat in other rooms of the house. Thank you so much, Professor, and see you in class.